Do you have low self-worth? Or maybe you feel like a burden to others? Or maybe you don't trust the decisions you make? Or do you have trouble taking yourself seriously? Or do you struggle with overthinking and anxiety? Hi, my name is Micaiah. Okay, these are things I struggled with. But before I get into it, I just want to mention that I am filming on my phone right now. My camera, as you can tell in my last video, my audio is crap. It's terrible, unfortunately. And my mic wasn't helping like I thought it would. If anything, it makes it worse. So I am just going to continue to film on my phone until I'm able to work out my audio situation with my camera. I might just have to buy a whole new camera, unfortunately, because I just bought that one. But luckily for me, it was super cheap. So, of course, I buy a cheap camera and I'm going to get cheap quality. Like, what did I expect? So it's okay. It's okay. I'm still going to use my phone and it still works quite well. And I was editing videos and filming my videos on my phone with no problem before. So it should be no issue now. But I just wanted to mention that because I know the quality is different and also my setup is different, like the way I'm sitting and everything. I don't get to be as comfortable as I used to because I have my tripod and everything with my camera on it. But that's okay because I still am going to make this work. And it still looks fine. How do we like the quality with my phone? I think it still looks fine. So, yeah. But like I was saying before, about all those negative traits, those are things that I struggled with. And I want to tell you how I was able to use spirituality to find self-love, to kind of knock these traits, these negative traits down. I'm going to be reading from my laptop, looking at my notes just to make sure that I'm able to properly tell this and explain this how I want to. So don't mind me looking over to the side every once in a while because I'm just looking at my notes. Anyway, in the past, I never perceived myself as someone with low self-esteem because when I thought about self-esteem, I thought about looks and body image. I never really thought about self-worth, self-value, all that stuff. And of course I had that normal level of teenage, early adulthood body self-consciousness. But it was never an extremely concerning issue for me. That didn't play into my insecurities. I'm going to explain the definition of self-esteem just so we can be on the same page about what self-esteem is. So self-esteem is your overall subjective evaluation of your own worth, influencing how you feel about yourself, your relationships, and your mental health. So yeah, that's self-esteem. I was not thinking that all of that played into self-esteem when I was a teenager. When I was younger, I did not think about that when I thought about self-esteem. So yeah, I never thought about self-worth, self-value, self-belief. But later on in my life, I realized that these things played into it, and these are the things that I unfortunately lacked. So yeah, I never thought I was someone that people noticed or really cared about. As sad as that sounds, but I'm being serious. I just didn't expect anyone to ever be thinking about me or my well-being or who I was or anything like that. So when people talked about self-love, I kind of thought it was fake as well. When people were telling me about self-love, because obviously that is something I struggled with growing up, but it was more unconsciously. I thought oh, everyone hates themselves. Everyone is disgusted with themselves or feels weird about themselves or not great about themselves. I thought that was like a normal quality, and it is at that, especially in those early teenage years. It's definitely normal. But I thought self-love was fake. I was like, there's no way that people can actually like achieve self-love and confidence. Like I thought those were like qualities that people were faking. I was like, no, this is not real. Like this is all a collective joke. I want to kind of get like really vulnerable here, and I want to like show you a poem that I wrote when I was in high school, because I used to write a lot of poetry in high school, because that was like my most depressed days, and like sad days. Like it was just sad girl energy. You can ask my mom, and I always said that I write my best poetry when I'm sad or depressed. So I want to show you just like one of the poems I wrote, just to show you like my mindset back then. So I'm gonna read a poem from my journal that I had in high school. And also this is not gonna be like super great. It's just like I was 17, okay? So this poem is called, I titled it I Want. So here we go. I want to be by myself. I want to be with all my thoughts and raging emotions. I want to be misunderstood by people and make them think I'm antisocial. I want to speak in such a monotone voice that you think I don't like you or that I have an attitude. I want to have you boiling in anger to where you can't stand to see my face. But mostly I want to cry. I want to surrender to all my sad emotions, to break down so hard that I can't breathe. I want to be alone. So that's that. That is, a poem I wrote when I was 17, because, sorry mom if you're watching this, but I remember writing that like after like we got into a heated argument. And yeah, I wrote that, and I was, that's just how I felt on the inside, like all the time. But that was like, because of that, it like brought it up within me more. But yeah, so I wrote that poem just to like let it out. And that's a healthy outlet. Like, look at me being like, I didn't do anything crazy. I just like wrote a poem. I didn't like realize I was deeply insecure and actually like seriously struggling with anxiety and maybe a little bit of depression, until like I began living on my own. Like I live on my own now. I'm in my own apartment now. I moved out of my parents' house like about to be 2 years in May, almost 2 years ago. And yeah, so like when you realize, or like when you become an adult, and you move out and you have your own bills to pay and you're fully responsible for yourself, that's when you start to realize some stuff internally about yourself. At least that's what happened with me. That's what happened for me. So yeah, let's get into it. I want to just talk about how spirituality all ties into this and how it like allowed me to find self-love. So shadow work. I will die on the hill of shadow work. It is amazing. It is a great tool to be able to like figure things out about yourself. So if you don't know what shadow work is exploring the hidden or unconscious or shameful parts of yourself that you tucked away so that you can fit in or appease others. With shadow work, you have to be comfortable with asking yourself the uncomfortable questions. And that's what I did. I had to ask myself super uncomfortable questions so that I could understand why I feel the way that I do. So for example, some shadow work journaling questions that you could ask yourself would be like, why does this person or situation trigger such intense, unbearable emotions for me? what parts of my suffering have I contributed to, and how can I start taking more accountability for my actions? Also, you can name negative ways that you were treated that contributed to how and why you act the way you do and why you feel the way you do. And then also, maybe you're someone that wants to start taking yourself more seriously so that you can achieve your goals. Ask yourself, why don't I see myself as someone that can do this? And if you say, because other people said I couldn't, then ask yourself, why did you believe them? These are questions that you can ask yourself to like dig deeper into why it is that you feel the way you do. This is the reason and purpose of shadow work. Shadow work allows you to just dig and dig and dig and dig until you get to the core parts of your being, so that you can truly know who you are without other people's perceptions or other people's expectations put onto you. Once you like do that, and once you ask yourself that those like uncomfortable questions, you like start to realize you're shedding these parts of yourself like a second skin. For me, it was like an epiphany. Like you'll end up having like an epiphany with yourself, like oh, this thing happened to me then, so that's why I feel this way. These people treated me this way, or I was raised this certain way, and that's why I believe this. So after doing this, asking like these questions about what you need to do, how you became the way you are, like in what ways were you treated by other people that like affected you in the way that you are now, and also like what parts have you had in contributing to hurting your own self emotionally, like where have you contributed to your own hurt. So after doing this, this is when I decided to change. I like decided that I wasn't going to continue to let this false unhealed version of myself continue to exist, because it just wasn't who I am, and I didn't want to continue acting out of character and also like unintentionally or sometimes intentionally hurting other people, and also unintentionally or intentionally hurting myself, or like just being in this distressed state of mind all the time. I just wanted to be this better version of myself. So this is just the phase where I just stopped making excuses for myself. I just had to realize that if I want to be a person who is successful and happy and at peace in life, I gotta realize that I gotta start actively doing things to change. I gotta start being more aware of my actions and my words and everything, you know? And then like once you do this, you really start to understand how much control you actually have over yourself. Like I said, I was a person that struggled with overthinking and anxiety. And I have my days where it's like really bad for me. But it's nowhere near to where how it used to be, especially with my overthinking, nowhere near where it used to be. I realized that when it came to my overthinking and anxiety, I was allowing myself to be stuck in my head. And when I could like instead use like certain coping skills to help relieve and bring myself back to my present reality, ground myself into like where I'm at instead of allowing myself to spiral. Because you do have the active choice in where your mind goes. So once you realize that, you will start to use coping skills and actions to distract yourself when you're feeling in distress. And also like when you are feeling like you don't need to distract yourself and this is something that needs to be handled and talked about now, you can start to process those emotions with yourself. Like these feelings are coming up for me right now. What can I do to understand where they're coming from and then make myself feel better? So yeah, journaling has helped so much for me when it comes to this process. Like, for example, random days. I'll have random days where I feel like nobody likes me, nobody loves me. But especially back then, like it used to be way worse back then. And like if that feeling ever comes up for me now, I just look at the facts in front of me. Like, why do I feel this way? What's happening? How can I relieve this feeling of feeling like no one loves me? I can call up a friend or a family member and just have a conversation with them. And during that conversation, you don't have to blatantly ask like, oh, do you care about me? Do you love me? No, during that conversation, you can just tell that that person really cares and loves for you just by how they're like asking questions about your life or how they're checking up on you and stuff like that. So yeah, like just doing things like this can really help to like ease that anxiety and that overthinking mind. Because yeah, the only thing you have control over in life is yourself. So being able to successfully do shadow work makes you realize that you don't have to be controlled by your negative experiences in life, and brings a level of awareness to your attention so you can actively make better choices. So after doing shadow work, you become like so aware of everything you do and the words you say and the actions you make. Like before I did shadow work, I feel like I was in a brain fog before. Like I feel like I was just running on autopilot. Like I was just doing things just because and without any thought behind it. But now I like am intentional about everything I do and the things that I say. So that's also another way that shadow work can help you. It can just raise your awareness of your person, of yourself. So that is how I found self-love through spirituality. Shadow work is a section of spirituality and also is a section of counseling, which I'm in school to be a mental health counselor. But this is just something I really wanted to talk about because it's something I'm really passionate about. Just like being intentional about your words and your actions and being more grounded in your reality is just something that a lot of us forget to do, especially in this digital age. So yeah, I hope that you were able to learn something through this, and maybe this can help you in some way, because I know it can be so tough, like trying to figure out how to better yourself. And it's not easy. It's not like it's not uphill from here, you know. It's a wavy line, you know what I'm saying? It's a roller coaster. It's not gonna be a smooth one, but as long as you're getting there, you're trying to find your way there, you'll eventually get there. You just have to be patient with yourself. That's all it takes, is some patience. That's all I have. Thank you for watching this video. I don't know when my next one will be up. I want to try uploading one video a month, but my schedule right now with school, it's packed. I'm going to be starting my internship / my practicum in the summer. It's April right now, and then I'm going to start my internship in the fall. My schedule is just going to be so busy, but you know, when I have time where I feel like I can make a video, I'll just do it. So yeah, that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to me. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, have a great day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Okay.